Hey fellow tennis nerds, welcome to another Tennis Nerd video. Please subscribe and join the channel. MSV Strings, it's one of those brands that you've probably seen, you might have played, and it is an excellent budget-friendly brand with great products, strings, overgrips, grips, whatnot. I've created a page about their products on the website tennisnerd.net, and I've now been testing a few of their new strings. I've been testing Buzzard, which is a more control-oriented string, similar to kind of all the power RS Lyon, I would say more. Really like that string, softer but still with some excellent control features. My favorite of these strings though is the MSV Swift. This is a very soft string, but it has some bite, some control, and I really liked it paired with this Wilson shift racket. So those two worked well together. We also have Daniel in the background here. So Daniel has been using the Hepta Twist. I've been using the MSV Swift, the famous Co-Hex, using it in my Extreme Tour. And I really like MSV strings. I think they make a great product. I know so many different players that use these strings, and on like pro level, amateur level, whatever. So you've probably seen them or tested them, but for the price, it's just an excellent choice. And then they have such a variety of strings, like the softer Swift, which I think for a lot of players who want to try a softer polyester is like a great option. And then they have the more control-oriented, I mean, Co-Focus Hex, one that's six-sided shaped, more aggressive poly for bigger hitters, I would say. Like Daniel, for example, you need a bit more control. This one he actually very much liked as well, the Hepta Twist. It's a twisted string, quite soft for a twisted string, still with some good pop and spin and control. So it's a nicely balanced twisted string.
So if we get into a bit more depth with Buzzard, it's a control and spin oriented string, still round, very reminiscent of RS Lyon and All the Power and Topspin Cyber Flash. Just a good example that you don't have to pay premium money to get a high quality string. This string plays absolutely fine and has a nice feel to it. A little bit firmer than the Swift, for example, or even the Hepta Twist in my opinion. So if you don't like a firm feeling when you hit the ball, I think this one is maybe not your choice. It's very similar to All the Power. Some players love it, some players feel like it's a bit stiff. I liked it. I used it in this Blade Pro Stock 98 and I felt like I got good control, good spin, nothing out of the ordinary, but just high quality stuff at a lower price point. So definitely a string to check out if you're out for a control oriented dependable string.
My favorite would be the new Swift string. I think it's an excellent choice, and I think most players should use a softer poly or even a multi-filament.
So, although I really respect some classics like the Co-Focus Hex Ultra, which I've used quite a lot, it's a little bit softer than Co-Focus Hex, which is a stiffer string. I think the Swift now has taken the place of my favorite MSV string, and I've used them for years in various different tests and situations. So it's a string string brand I really find dependable, and this one has a good feeling of control despite the softness. Usually with softer strings, like the tension maintenance is not so good, and you feel like the ball might sail a little bit on some shots. You're not 100% confident. With this one, despite putting it in the lighter shift racket, I felt very much connected to the ball. The sound was great, and I felt I had enough control and spin on this string. So when I only had one set for tests, so I didn't test it in other rackets, but in this combination it was very, very good, and I felt very, very connected to it. Other players tried it with me and they also liked this string a lot. So I hope to test more sets in the future of the MSV Swift, because I thought it was an excellent string and had many things going for it. Although I'm more prone usually to use a little bit stiffer strings, I think sometimes for the arm and so on, it's better to use these if you can find one that offers you good control. As you might know, have been a big fan of Hyper G Soft in the past, and this one is a good rival to that string. A very, very nice string from MSV, very dependable for its softness.
So that's it about MSV strings. Check them out, link in the description. Have a nice day everyone, and don't forget to play some tennis.